Hey guys, Maximum RC coming at ya. What am I doing? What is this mess? Well, if this car looks familiar to some of y'all, this is my Rovan 5B Baja Buggy. It's a 30.5cc gas engine on this thing, 2-cycle. And it has given me, I've owned it for 2 years, and in those 2 years, it's been amazing. I have not had to replace a single part because it went bad. I've had to replace the chassis twice because that was my fault. I do send this thing to the air. Oh, it's been, I want to say anywhere between 10, 15, maybe even 20 feet up in the air. Being a two-wheel drive, it doesn't always want to land properly, so that's the reason why I've had to replace the chassis. My fault, not too concerned about it. It's an easy replacement now. What we're going to do to it is, we're going to go ahead, and you'll see all of this in the video. We're going to replace the roll cage. We're going to go ahead and we're going to replace the exhaust, and we're going to repair its original one while we're repairing it. That way we have a spare in case anything happens to the new one. We're also going to go ahead and replace the spark plug wire because this thing has seen better days. And what started this whole project is we're going to replace the rear shock. This is what started this whole ordeal. Like you saw, I do have the new shocks ready to go. So we're going to do those shocks. Right now, all I wanted to do was take the gas tank off. Now that the gas tank is off, we're going to go ahead and throw it in the garage, and it's going to live in the garage until this thing is done. I'm hoping that if everything goes as I plan it to be, we're going to be done by the end of next week. I do have work, and other priorities before the cars. And so we're going to work on this when we get the chance to it. So basically that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoy this following series. And honestly, you know, I think it's going to be fun. This is going to be more for the mechanically inclined people. For the people that like to tinker, that like to actually wrench on their own stuff, which is I love doing. It's wrenching and tinkering with your rigs is about, I want to say it's a 75% of the whole hobby. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we're gonna get started right about now. I hope you guys enjoy this video.
Alright, so let's get started here real quickly. We're gonna start with just removing the basic clips that hold the roll cage to the actual chassis. Really not that big of a deal, but they can be a hassle at times. Now, if you're considering getting yourself one of these vehicles, one of these gasser vehicles, 5th scales, 8th scales, whatever the case is you might be able to find, I would highly suggest get yourself a remote kill switch and get it installed before you even run it for the first time, before you even start the braking procedure. Having a remote kill switch will come in extremely handy. Should the vehicle lose connection with your remote, the remote kill switch will automatically shut the engine off. That way you will not have the issue of chasing after a runaway vehicle. With a car this size, you never know where it can go. You never know who it could end up hurting or what kind of damage it could end up causing. I can't emphasize it enough. A remote kill switch is a necessity with these vehicles. I can't recall if I mentioned that in the beginning. This car came with a 30.5cc engine. As it sits, this car can reach anywhere between high 30s to low 40s. Trust me, you don't want to be chasing after a car going that fast. So I know some of y'all are thinking, why is he going to cut the roll cage? Well, the thing is, since I've sent this thing flying up in the air 10, 15, maybe even 20 feet, and it being two-wheel drive, it doesn't always want to land properly. So the muffler has been bent and pushed up against the roll cage, causing the plastic roll cage to completely burn through and melt. So we'll be replacing the roll cage with a new one. Besides using regular hand tools, I'm also using the Dynamite Startup tool set, part number DYN2833. You can find this through A-Main Hobbies or your local hobby shop, and this whole kit is under $30. It is well worth the money. I am aware I probably did more than I had to get the fuel tank off, and I probably removed more things than I should have had, but since we're going to go through the whole car, removing things now will only make it easier down the road of this project. Okay, since we're working around the receiver box of this vehicle, just want to point out that these are the original servos that came with the car. I've never had to replace them. If you're burning through servos, I would highly suggest to look into setting your endpoint adjustments on the servos through the remote. That will help you extend the life of the servo. Otherwise, you're just going to keep on burning through them. So right about here, I figured let me take off the air filter cover, just take a look at the actual air filter. The cover has on its shop, the filter is nice, it's clean, maybe a little on the dry side, we'll take care of that. But for this cover, we'll either replace it or we'll throw it in the wash. The pool store, you can see, also has a cover. These covers come in handy and they're only around $7 for the set. There was one more little fuel line holding the tank in place. Finally found it. Once we go on ahead and we remove that fuel line, bada boom, bada bing, just like that, the fuel tank is off, and now I can go live in the garage until this project is finished.